Guys, this could be it. TikTok could be finally getting banned for good. Now, if I remember correctly, there were some mumblings under the Trump administration of TikTok being banned and that there was going to be a full TikTok ban like a few years ago, which obviously never ended up happening. But recently, there was a new bill passed by a House committee that gives Joe Biden the power to ban TikTok off of every device, every single device in America. So we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about why this is happening, what this means, my thoughts about it, and everything. So if you guys like these kinds of videos, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. We're trying to hit 400K where I will be doing my face reveal, so please subscribe and let's get into it.
Also this morning, TikTok is facing new scrutiny. The White House throwing its support behind a bipartisan bill that could be used to ban the popular app.
Oh god, this can't be true. I'm gonna be sick. Okay, no, but seriously, the bill that could put TikTok to an end is called, and it's a long one, the Restricting the Emergence of Security Threats That Risk Information and Communications Technology Act, or the Restrict Act for short. Now, before anybody makes their assumptions as to why it's getting banned, it's probably not what you think. It's not because, oh, attention spans are lowering and we need to do something good for attention spans. Or people spend like 8 hours a day scrolling on TikTok wasting their lives and maybe we should put a stop to that. No, trust me, the government does not care about you like that. This all ties back to two things: national security and China. You see, in case you didn't know, TikTok is not owned by somebody in America. It's not an American company. It's owned by its parent company called ByteDance. And ByteDance also has a TikTok made for the Chinese, specifically called Douyin. So ByteDance basically made two different versions of TikTok. One for Americans, which is TikTok, which is what we use, and one for the Chinese to use, called Douyin. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time talking about this, but it's pretty interesting to bring up. The Chinese TikTok algorithm versus the American TikTok algorithm is like night and day. The Douyin algorithm potentially pushes out productive content, like videos of kids playing the piano incredibly well, videos of kids solving Rubik's Cubes, videos of kids celebrating that they've got a good grade in school, things that you would never see on American TikTok. Instead, we have a disgusting, hedonistic, degenerate algorithm that pushes out the most vapid and vile content that we've ever seen. It's like we have half-naked 18-year-old girls that are barely clothed, provocatively dancing to explicit music, and this sort of content is being consumed for hours a day by like 13-year-old boys and girls, where in China they have a 30-minute screen time limit every single day. Anyways, that has nothing to do with TikTok getting banned. I just thought it was interesting to bring up the differences between American and Chinese TikTok. But yeah, in the real world right now, there's some stuff going on right now with the United States and China. You probably heard about the Chinese spy balloon that entered American airspace and was later shot down. That was a pretty big story because, like, how is the Chinese sending spy balloons into American airspace? Kind of spooky stuff, right? Then it turns out the Pentagon found another Chinese spy balloon floating over South America, which obviously, doesn't really affect us as much, but the Chinese are getting a little sussy, So the attempts of spying and surveillance by the Chinese on American citizens has created tension and raised concern for the American government and the White House, as they're now making efforts to stop these spying and surveillance campaigns by the Chinese. So as you know, a lot of your phone apps, I would say like 90% of them, collect your data to some extent. The majority of social media apps, in fact, collect a disgusting amount of your personal data. It's actually crazy. Now, this is mostly done for the fact that they want to have targeted advertisements placed toward you. I think the prime example of this is Instagram. If you open Instagram, close Instagram, go on Google searching for clothing, and then you open Instagram again, the first advertisement you will see when you scroll Instagram is an ad for clothing. Try it right now. If it's not the first ad that you see, it's going to be one of the first 3 ads that you see. And it's actually scary how specific it can be too. If you search Google for like anime-themed clothing, Instagram is going to give you an ad for anime-themed clothing, and they're allowed to do this because you clicked I agree on their terms of service and their privacy policy. If you don't believe me, think about it like this. Why is Instagram free? It's because you are the product, bro. The reason their service is able to be used for no cost whatsoever is because you're paying them with all of the information you're giving them. However, the difference between Instagram and TikTok is when you download Instagram, all of your data is being given to almost all domestic companies. Meta is owned by Mark Zuckerberg, and this is all done under American jurisdiction, so the government really isn't too worried about what's going on. Obviously, yeah, there's some things that there's red flags for, and Meta has been under investigation for certain things, and I understand that, but it's not really a national security risk to the same extent that a foreign body like China is with TikTok, because all of your data, all of your information that TikTok has gathered is going to the Chinese Communist Party. And there are some people that are just generally like stupid that don't understand why this is bad. They're like, well, you know what, man, TikTok shouldn't be banned. I'm okay with all of my data going to China. That's fine with me. Please let me use TikTok. And it's such a bad argument because it's not about you as an individual. It's about the mass influence that the Chinese Communist Party has on American citizens through a social media app. If the Chinese government told ByteDance to modify its American algorithm to push more pro-China propaganda, you do understand they would do that, and they would probably succeed in successfully modifying American attitudes towards China. The modifications of algorithms that are influencing the minds of millions of voters and US citizens is a big deal. The biggest worry I would assume that the government has is that this could, at the end of the day, influence, to some extent, the outcome of elections. I mean, you can vote in elections at age 18, and I know that millions of 18-year-olds have TikTok, and I can see why the US government wouldn't feel comfortable with the Chinese psyoping young Americans into voting a certain way. I mean, if it's already dented our culture so strongly, why wouldn't it affect our elections, right? I mean, TikTok has, and I hate this word, normalized a lot of like degenerate and disgusting stuff, so why couldn't they subtly normalize things like globalization, pro-communist attitudes, pro-China attitudes? It absolutely can and will be done if they could do it, right? So I understand why the US is looking at banning it.
NBC senior Washington correspondent Hallie Jackson on the story. Hallie, how significant is this for TikTok?
Well, significant, right?
How significant is this? Well, significant, right?
Right, we don't know if it's going to pass Congress, but it is certainly the latest threat of a national ban for this really popular platform.
Good. This isn't a real argument in favor of banning TikTok, but give me like 5 ways that TikTok has helped your life. Like, I'm serious. Like, do people use the app and find it to be an enriching way to spend their time? And I'm being serious. Like, I know for me at one point, the only valuable information that I would see on TikTok when I had the app like 2 years ago was it would give me good cooking recipes, and that is literally it. So I'm serious, is there useful information on TikTok? Are people actually posting content that could be helpful in any sort of way? Or am I right in assuming that it's a complete wasteland of trash?
There's this bipartisan push for a plan that would give the Biden administration, via the Commerce Secretary, more power to make moves against tech platforms like TikTok.
Good.
Potentially blocking them from operating here altogether.
Good.
It focuses on tech companies based in 6 countries considered adversaries. That includes China. Remember, TikTok is owned by a Chinese-based parent company, ByteDance. Lawmakers, because of that, worry about national security. And as you mentioned, the White House does support this new bill.
Bro, even Joe Biden knows there's a problem, and that should say something. Joe Biden doesn't even know where he is half the time, and he's like, yeah, I mean, you know, these White House correspondents, they're telling me that, like, you know, there's a problem with TikTok, and I trust them. So the fact that both Republicans and Democrats were able to get Joe on board, that's a W.
But TikTok has said, listen, they work to protect U.S. user data. They tell NBC News in a new statement that a U.S. ban on TikTok would be a ban on the export of American culture and values to the billion-plus people who use our service worldwide.
American culture and values, yeah, like the WAP challenge. Disgusting, degenerate behavior. Throw it all in the garbage. I don't want it. Nobody wants it. Anyways, though, with that all being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. A bit of a shorter one today. Comment down mouse if you made it to the end of the video. Follow my social medias. Links are all down below. Subscribe if you're not yet subscribed, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.